Hi everyone. I'm sick. Bear with me for this one. I sound okay. I don't think I sound too bad, but obviously I'm not doing 100% because I have a cold, and no, it is not COVID. I already tested. The weather in New York has been so chaotic and unpredictable, so my body just gave out. I'm still gonna record a podcast episode. Today's episode is on my 2023 winter favorites. There's not as many favorites I had this year. I feel like I pretty much did the same exact thing that I did in winter. I didn't really try many new things, but I still have a good list. So before we get into it, high-low buffalo. Okay, starting with the high. This one's super random, but my parents have been divorced for a really long time and they have their own partners, which when I was growing up, I wasn't used to, but now I'm used to. And now I am super duper happy that they have somebody, each of them have someone. And recently they've been sending me pictures of their like dates and things like that, and it's so freaking cute and it makes my heart feel really happy. Selfishly a little, because it makes me realize that it might be okay if I kind of do my own thing once in a while being in New York City, and they will always, well, not always, but they have somebody else that loves them and is there for them and makes them happy. And so I don't have to be like, oh no, they're alone. Doesn't mean I'm not going to see them. I'm just saying that it helps with making me feel a little bit better and less guilty whenever I am here. The low is pretty obvious. I'm sick. Just got it all of a sudden over the weekend. I was completely fine Friday. Saturday I was fine. And then Saturday night, was it Saturday night? Yeah, Saturday night. I'm starting to get a runny nose. But then I was like, it's fine. I always get runny noses sometimes. And then Sunday, I was just destroyed. And if I have to drink another cup of lemon water, I will kill myself. But I will do it anyways. I'm still doing it. I literally have this glass. I've been only drinking and consuming liquids, only liquids for the past 24-ish hours. For my buffalo, this week, I went to a work event, and it was a free Sofar concert. Sofar, I've talked about before. Basically, they do intimate, small artist concerts throughout different cities, and they host them in these random buildings, warehouses, and it's just really cool and intimate, and it's really cheap to go. No, not sponsored, but I got to go for work, and it was free, and it was really fun, and there was 3 artists that performed that night. And they also had a raffle because it was at this like lighting store in New York City. And I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to put my name down for this raffle. And guess who freaking got picked? This girl. I rarely ever win things. I've won a few things. I'm not going to say never. I've won a very few things. But it's so funny that I would have won that. When the guy pulled out the slip, I knew it was me immediately because he was like, there's no last name. And I was like, oh, that's me. How embarrassing. But really cool that I won something, and it was just weird. Now on to the topic of the episode, winter 2023 favorites. Okay, first category is food, drinks. I'm going to sound like such a granola girl because the things that I'm going to bring up for this they're just like Whole Foods, like produce items. But I was obsessed, and I still am, with figs and persimmons, guys. Like a crazy person. I literally was on the hunt for them at like farmer markets, like these farmer stands in New York City, because at Trader Joe's they just didn't have them for the longest time. And I was like, where are the figs and the persimmons? Because they're in season and they're just so delicious during this time of year. Figs are amazing. I don't know if you guys knew about this, but the way that they get cultivated and stuff is through like wasps, and it's like pretty disgusting. And I had this dream nightmare for sure the other night, where I dreamt that I had bought a bunch of fruit, which I think were supposed to be figs, but they didn't look like figs. I didn't know that they had eggs on them and like a bunch of bugs inside. So when I cracked it open, all these bugs like shot out from the inside of the fruit. They just started spinning webs and like creating like this huge complicated web in our kitchen. And it just like, they started like crawling everywhere. And I remember Mikey and Tiff, I remember not freaking out too bad. I was just like, whoa. And then Mikey was doing really good where she was like getting rid of like all the webs that were being created in the room. But it was so freaky. And like after I found out that fact, it just freaked me out. And now it's stuck in my head, which is why I think I had a nightmare about that. But anyways, figs are so yum. I hope I never open one that has like a bug in it. I also was obsessed with cabbage this season. Like a freaking head of cabbage is so delicious. Stir frying it, putting it in soup is super delicious, and I was just craving it. I don't know what was going on. I just wanted cabbage really bad. I just love the texture. And another dish that I've been loving during the winter was mapo tofu, if you've ever had it. It's like spicy Sichuan stir-fried soft tofu, and it's delicious. It's so freaking good. You can get it at a lot of nicer banquet-y kind of, well, I think you can get it not really like fast food Chinese, at the nicer Chinese places. It's so good. If you love a kick, I was craving it so bad. When I hung out with my friends, I was like picking out restaurants just to get that one dish. The other food item, well, this is a drink, is hot chocolate, obviously, but specifically the way that I started making it this year, my friend Tara gave me a bar of Cadbury chocolate, and I used the chocolate itself and melted it in milk, and it was so good. It's way better than using powder. Use high quality chocolate bars, and your chocolate milk will just taste infinitely better. It just tastes like richer and thicker, and I just haven't looked back since. And then you put some whipped cream. I've been actually obsessed with whipped cream this season, guys. I got it for obviously the hot chocolate, but I've been just loving like just putting it like straight. And I never have been that kind of person because it is pretty sweet, but it's so freaking good cold. Finally, for this category, turmeric lattes. I've been making these a lot. It's been super yum, very sweet. You just sweeten it with either honey, sugar, or dates, or all three. And you put turmeric, cardamom, cinnamon, and black pepper with some milk. And then I also grate some ginger inside. And it's really good, apparently, for your skin and your digestive system. And it tastes yum. So it's kind of like a dessert drink, similar to hot chocolate, but it has a lot of health benefits. The next category is activities. I've been really liking in-person shopping this year, but not at like department stores, but more so farmers markets or small markets. I know not everyone can do that where they are, and it's just a really nice perk of being in the big city. But also in LA, they have a million farmers markets and just small boutique markets as well. It's been really fun shopping for people's gifts and getting groceries from these places. It's less overwhelming for me to do something like this than going to a department store. Something about the lighting and just how much stuff there's everywhere in a department store that really, really overwhelms me. And sometimes after every time I shop and I hit the 2-hour mark, my blood sugar, something is just completely off because I feel like I'm ready to faint. Every time I go shopping in a department store, it's just not fun. But then this is different because I've been doing it outdoors or in these giant warehouses, and it's been really, really fun. Also, I've been obsessed with just walking recently. I've talked about this in my last podcast episode, but I've been going out of my way just to inconveniently walk an insane amount. And I've been loving it. And I think it's because the weather outside's been pretty good too. So I've been enjoying it. It's just the little things this year. I don't know what it is. And next category is fashion. Okay, guys, I've been obsessed with 2 colorways this season. And it's the most surprising colorway ever because I've never been obsessed with these 2 colors to the extent that I have this season. The 2 are blue, really strong blues, and I've talked about this in a past video, but also like slate concrete gray. I've been obsessed with these 2 colors, guys. I got a puffer this season, Aritzia puffer, and you know, with the Aritzia puffers, there's so many colors. You can really go all out, choose a statement color, but you can also choose a very muted, neutral color. It is like your core jacket. The puffer, the big winter coat, is like your core jacket. And so the color you choose is pretty important. And you're not going to be having like 3 or 4 of those. You're going to have 1 core jacket. And so I chose mine to be the Aritzia puffer, and I chose it in a gray. And I am obsessed with the color. It's like this gunmetal gray. But I've never loved grays so much ever in my life. Like, I got a new iPad cover this season, and I chose like a strong deep blue. I've just been obsessed with these 2 colors together and separate. The next and last fashion trend that I really have been riding / like committing to is really big statement accessories. This includes hats. I've been really big on wearing fun hats. I have like a neon yellow Levi's hat. I got an army train trucker like kind of style hat. It's more of like a square cylinder hat. I don't know what you would call that kind of hat. I have been wearing giant scarves, a bright blue scarf. I'll probably put pictures and examples somewhere here. My rings have been getting crazy. I've been doing statement rings, and I've been on this like statement ring thing for a few months now. I think fall, like right when fall started, I was getting into it, where like I just put rings on every single finger. The more that I can cover, the merrier. And I've just been obsessed with like really big statement accessories, which I'm not, like I used to be a huge minimalist, and now I'm like completely switching to the other side for this season. And I feel like it really adds to an outfit. A really boring outfit can become even more like funky and like stand out and more fashionable just by adding like something funky in terms of accessories. The next category is items that I've been loving this season. And the first is an electric lighter. And I've talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it again because I just love it so much. And it's a lighter that you can charge, basically, and it's electric. The other thing I've been loving is motion censored lights. I've talked about this as well, but I have a pack that I got for $15 from Amazon. It's magnetic, and you just stick it anywhere you want, but I've been using it for my closet because I have no lighting in my closet, and especially when it gets so dark really early and is dark early in the morning when I'm getting ready for the gym, I can't see anything in my closet. So the motion censored lights have been super helpful because all I need to do is just walk into my closet, and I don't need to worry about like, you know, hitting my head or like running into the wall because I can't see where I'm going because it's so dark outside. The last thing is colorful, quirky umbrellas, especially umbrellas that are huge and with a wind layer, like a wind protector. And I've been seeing this around. I don't have it myself. Our apartment just has a crap ton of really crappy umbrellas that are about to break. Every single one, for some reason, is on the verge of breaking, and every time we use it, we don't know when it's going to fail. But I've been seeing a lot of people out in the streets using them. I saw somebody with a huge dinosaur umbrella. I saw someone with like a really funky pop art New York umbrella, which I thought was really cool. And I just kind of want one. It's just a rainy day and you have a really cool umbrella. It's just like a nice little thing to have. There's no justification for spending money on another umbrella. It's just, I think it's really cool, and it's been standing out enough to where I would put it in this favorites video because I've been loving them. It makes me smile, and I just pay attention to the umbrella while I'm walking out in the rain. All right, next category is entertainment. And underneath the entertainment umbrella, there's 2 sections, which is books, shows, movies, and music. Well, those aren't 2 sections, so multiple sections. Okay, starting with books, 4,000 Weeks. I've also talked about this, but I can't rave about it enough. It is a really good self-help, time management, anti-time management book. And 4,000 weeks represents how many weeks you have to live if you die at the age of 80, which is pretty dark, but it is such a good book that I, like I said in the past, have to literally take breaks every few pages because everything resonates with me in the book. Yeah. And next book, this one's more lighthearted-ish, is Nightingale. It's a World War II book. It takes on a lot of different perspectives, but in this case it shows a really unique narrative where the women, the females, are the superheroes, the protagonists of the book. And I don't think that type of perspective is talked about a lot in World War II types of material. I cried, laughed, everything reading those books. And lastly, for the books and shows, Gilmore Girls. Such a good show, so cozy. It's surprisingly really good and relatable. All right, for music, I've been obsessed with 3 songs specifically and a brand new artist that I just found out about that I'm completely obsessed with. I keep listening to their music on repeat. I'd have this really annoying tendency where when I find a song I really like, I will overplay it to the point of like I just want to die because I've been listening to it so much and I hate it. And then I will stop listening to it. So I'm still in the phase of listening to it too much because I've probably listened to it like 1,000 times now, but 1,000 times is not enough apparently. But I've been listening to Olivia Dean. She is so good. She has like indie pop, I want to say. Her voice is just like salted caramel. I don't know why I think that when I just think of her voice. It's like caramel chocolate. Yeah. Hold me close, love myself the most. Lately I've been just what I need. 4 pints and you're someone else. If you can't see my mirrors, then I can't see you. So don't say you won't forgive me, 'cause you always do. I have 3 songs specifically that I've been loving, and I will probably insert them into the podcast, and it's so self-explanatory. The music is so freaking good. These are also indie pop / pop, indie rock-ish. But first is Ritt, Momney, HEADSTART. 'Cause love's got an evil twin sister named Power. I've put too much trust in feelings for too much of my life. 500 Days of Summer by Grady. I think that's how you say his name. 'Cause you're sick and I suck being calm when I want what I want and I want it. Oh, you're more refreshing than a cold Sprite. And Driver by Bennett Coast. Literally iconic. These have been on repeat for the past few months. It's pretty bad. I literally just keep queuing them every time I listen to any music at all. They will always be in my queue. And I hope you guys like them as much as I like them. But yeah, that is my list of winter favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. Rate the podcast, like the podcast if you're listening to it on Apple or Spotify, and all good things. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
could save myself the stress, wear the trousers and the dress.